Hello everyone, welcome back to Anmoll Astrology channel. Now today's video is about Sade Sati when you have moon in the second house. So as I have already told you people in the previous video that that Sade Sati is not same for everyone. The fundamental predictions for Sade Sati are same, but it is different for each and every individual based on where Saturn is transiting, what is the placement within that house, what is the condition of moon, and what Mahadasha or Antardasha you are going through during that period of time. Okay, so we'll just quickly dive into the explanation. So if suppose your moon is in the second house. Oh, just a second. Yeah. So if moon is in the second house, that means that your Sade Sati, when it is it going to start? When Saturn will transit in your first house, then in your second house over your moon, and then in the third house. So here, moon is naturally in the domain of Taurus. Since we are not taking the signs, that's why do look for the Kal Purush Kundli. It's the natural second house. And remember this, that Saturn, these predictions which I am going to discuss, these are going to be generic in nature. Everything, there can be more piece of information, there can be less piece of information, there can be some addition or some adverse effects or some minimalistic effects based on the planetary placement, your Mahadasha, and the conjunction of moon, the condition of moon. So please do not think like this, that the person is saying 10 things and 10 things should match. You might see 7 things, 6 things, or 9 things matching to your chart. It's not necessary that 100% everything is matching to your chart, because every person has different chart and different combinations. It has to be studied on a deep level. Okay, so if suppose Saturn comes into the first house when you have moon in the second house. So we know when Saturn comes into the first house, what it does is it brings in a lot of criticism for an individual. And that criticism, that judgments that you receive from the public, that is going to make you yourself very judgmental. This Saturn is here to make your mindset very practical. Since it is the first house, it is the natural domain of your brain, your head. It can also initiate restlessness within your mind. This is 12th from moon, so there's going to be a lot of pressure of responsibility, self-critical behavior. Oh, the spelling is wrong. Don't worry. Forgive me for that. Okay. So you will have a very self-critical behavior. You will become very self-sensitive, and you will start criticizing yourself more than others. And this Saturn will also affect your health. More so, when Saturn comes into the ascendant, it actually makes you go into major transformation, major physical transformation. So if suppose you have been, you may lose a lot of weight, significant amount of weight. And if there is some influence of Jupiter, at the same time, on your ascendant, you might gain a lot of weight, but definitely a person also feels lethargic. Lethargic, not just in their physical self, but also in their emotional and mental state. This is a very pressurizing placement for second house moon. This is a very pressurizing placement for you to come in as a part of transit, right? You may also attract a lot of negativity, and it will also give you negative mindset because of this Saturn. It will also isolate you, because whenever Saturn, wherever Saturn comes in, it actually sets in boundaries for you. So that's why first house is self. So you yourself would want to, make boundaries around yourself. But this will also make you workaholic. This will make you dive deep into astrology, research. You'll be working so much. There will be lethargicness, but still circumstances would be that way that you will have to work. You may also experience financial problems within this time period because it is 12th from moon and it is Sade Sati. It is in the ascendant also. Then you will find the urge to work by yourself. This Saturn can give you, significant mood swings. One time you are happy, another time you might be crying in the corner. One time you are feeling very optimistic about things, but other time you are just feeling very disappointed with yourself and with everything else in the surroundings. The aspect of Saturn within the first house is on the third house. That means you have to actually make a lot of efforts towards career. Why? Because the 10th aspect is going to be here. So there can be lack of communication. There can be distance with siblings, close friends. Because third aspect of Saturn is where you will require to put in a lot of courage. There's going to be something significant related to third from Saturn, which is going to make you put in a lot of efforts. It is going to test your courage. So your relationship with your siblings or close friends or neighbors or close relatives can be distant, and there would be required a lot of efforts towards to build that. Communication also. This also makes you work hard towards your skills. So when Saturn comes into your ascendant, you will be working towards any of your skills. You would want to refine them. You would want to make it more better. Maybe for your career or otherwise as well. But most of all, it's for your career. It can initiate travel if the Vimshotri Dasha promises, but if not, it can give you struggles with travel, with movement. You would want to move, you would want to travel, but it is going to delay that in some manner. You will receive support from your counterpart. Your spouse or your partner, your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, they are going to criticize you. They are going to give you that, what we call it, reality check. But when you need support, you are going to receive support. You're going to encounter with partners who can be really, really harsh on you, who can be very practical towards you. And you might not feel that sense of, emotional attachment with them. Because Saturn here is just attracting partners who are a little bit, hard task masters, who just want to, who are here to teach you the reality of life. Right? So there is going to be also support from mass population. So if suppose you are into some career where you need recognition, this can even give you recognition if other things promise. But with recognition, it is going to bring in significant transformation as well. Even if you're getting everything, you might not feel totally content. You might not feel, will still feel disappointment. Then the 10th aspect is on the 10th house, which is of your career, your authority. Again, lots of criticism from the career itself. Your authority is going to be challenged. You have to prove yourself. The first phase for the individuals with moon in the second house, it's all about proving yourself. This is going to harm your public image. That's why you'll have to prove and prove everyone wrong. You would see that suddenly you have, in a way, entered a battlefield where you have to prove your worth, your skills. You see, third house, your skills, your interactions with people. So this transit, this first phase is going to ultimately transform you into a very, very different person. It's like everyone, you might feel that feeling that everyone is just after you. But remember, this is the process of you becoming a diamond out of the coal. They are here to bring the best out of you. This time is here, Saturn is here to bring the best out of you. You would feel restless, you would have sleepless nights also. Maybe instead, earlier you used to just work, or you were not working, you were unemployed, or you would just give 10 hours working. Now you'll have to give 18 hours. You will dive into astrology. Why? You would look for answers. You would look for that why this is happening with me. Okay, so then when Saturn comes over the moon in the second house, now this moon is about your speech, your happiness, major mood swings, problems with the family. So earlier, because of this moon, you were a person who used to communicate everything very beautifully, very emotionally. You know, the other person would feel the nourishment you're giving with your communication, the soothness of your communication. This Saturn will come in, and suddenly you'll become a brutally honest person. No more manipulation, only honesty. And that's why you can be quite blunt in nature, because of which there can be problems with other people. In previous video, when I was discussing about moon in first house and then the Sade Sati happens, I did tell that the second house Saturn, why it gives one person such a sharp tongue, which can just be, it's not piercing like Mars, but it can be way, it can, get into the depths of your heart and hurt you. That's because Saturn is truthful. It's about being honest and being practical, being harsh. In the second house, it has to deal with a battle of the family, battle with the family, either case. So it can initiate some problems within your family. And because of which the family environment, the home environment is going to get affected, because third aspect of Saturn is going to be in the fourth house. So there's going to be disturbance within your home because of maybe fights, because of maybe your tongue, your communication. And also, Mahabharata happened when Saturn was in Taurus. So that's why there's a Mahabharat-like situation. You feel like that you have to fight for. something. It definitely initiates savings for an individual. It initiates income for an individual. You will earn well. And if you're not earning already, you will start earning in this period. But do take care of your nutrition, your lifestyle, what you eat, what you intake, and your throat, your ENT issues. This Saturn will give you heavy gastric, digestion, or throat related problems. Why? Because it wants to mend your lifestyle. What did we discuss? Saturn is about putting boundaries. And you know what does boundaries means? Then you have to focus what is within that boundary. No distractions from the outside. Just what is on the inside. So Saturn wants you to concentrate on the articles or the events which are happening within the boundaries. And for this time, you would also want to organize your finances. You'll actually have to organize your finances. You have to provide your family. So the simplest remedy, whenever Saturn transits in your second house, provide your family. It give them 10 rupees, 10,000 rupees, howsoever you want regularly, every month. They want to go somewhere, buy them, the vacation plan. They are not well, get them medicines. Buy with your own pocket for them. Provide them. The provision has to be there. That way, this Saturn is going to give you immense wealth. Trust me. It does not mean that earlier you were earning nothing and suddenly you will get 1 crore rupees. No. It is just that what you were earning before, it is going to give you better than that. Okay? Then Saturn in the Saturn, when it is in the second house, the third aspect is on the fourth house. Mother's health could get affected because the third aspect is in the fourth house and Saturn is over moon. Your home environment will get affected. A lot of efforts will have to be made towards articles of comfort and whatever makes you happy. Somehow you will feel very cold with your emotions. Not many things are going to be there that are going to make you happy. So it is going to become a task for you to feel content, to feel happy during this time. There's, what? The third aspect of Saturn is actually its debilitated aspect. That's why it'll bring in a rush in your heart space, impatience. Impatience, the the wanting of control over the home, that I need to control my home environment, this type of feeling. Wherever Saturn's third aspect is there, you would want to control that particular house, the significance of that house. So you will have to work really, really hard here. And also your skills can develop from something which is creative and knowledgeable in nature. So as to enhance or so as to earn, you might use your skills of knowledge and creativity, or maybe mythology, occult, because it's the moksha house. Then the seventh aspect is in the eighth house. There can be gains from in-laws, inheritance, investments, and that too long-term investments. It could even be fixed assets. It could be sudden gains also. So sudden gains as in gains from, suppose, insurance, gambling, lottery, something like that. But along with that, it also activates the issue of inheritance. Since it is Saturn, you'll have to fight to get what is yours. And, with Saturn coming over your moon, it's actually good because then you don't fight with the family with all the emotions. You become practical about it. You become practical about where your emotions need to be invested and where not to be invested. Okay, so you just in a way develop that sense of priority. And you know what? One of the signs which are mostly about segregating one's priorities, and which people are very very stubborn with what they want and where they should invest their time, energy, love, money, those are Taurus. Okay, now the 10th aspect goes in the 11th house. Work hard towards gains, desires. You will definitely have to represent yourself in front of large populations. So as to get gains, fulfillment of your desires. Okay. So this also makes you connected with some MNC as well, because 11th house is the house of MNCs, multinational companies. Okay, so it's just that the 10th aspect means that there is where the hard work should be done so as to gain. So that's why it's actually the natural house of gains and your desires. So you'll have to work hard towards it. And this can even mean that you will have to work hard towards your social circle. You might feel disappointed with your social circle or with the gains that you're getting. So you would want to work harder towards that particular area. Now, the last phase would be when Saturn comes into the third house. This actually becomes the most hard-working phase for someone who has moon in the second house and their Sade Sati starts. This is not going to be the easy time. Don't think that this time is the one which is going to give everything back, which was taken in the first and second phase. Maybe nothing was taken in the second phase, because second phase is going to be good for you people. But the third phase, it is not going to be easy money. It is going to be a lot of efforts. You have to work hard. You have to present yourself. You have to give your time. So third house is all about communication. You would not feel like communicating, but you will have to do that. You would not feel like, refining your skills, but you'll have to make some change towards your skills. Your relationship between your siblings, your close friends, or your close relatives, that will become distant. You would suppress your communication. Your communication is now into boundaries. You're not talking randomly now. You now talk around something only. A few things. This Saturn, third house is about your hard work. Hard work, it's actually about your efforts that you put in. It's your courage. Third house Saturn, you'll feel impatient. You'll start feeling loss of courage. and you would think about leaving situations as it is. Howsoever courageous you are, when Saturn transits as a part of Sade Sati in your third house, you would lose that thinking of courage. Okay, then the third aspect from this goes into the fifth house. Lots of efforts towards what? Maintaining romantic life. Efforts towards children. This can also actually initiate childbirth. That's why a lot of efforts. A newborn, what does a newborn needs? Lots of your efforts, lots of your time. That is going to be there, because of which romantic life is gone and all the efforts is towards the children. If we talk about finances, definitely do not, a big no for investment in shares. Big no. Look for long-term investments. Romantic life would feel something which has a lot of pressure. It's not easy. It is not there. So you'll have to put a lot of pressure. You'll have to put a lot of effort so as to have the basic romance in life. And it will also affect studies of an individual who might be into studies, or there can be delays in your studies. Maybe you have given an exam but did not clear that as expected. So that will make you basically delay the process of your study. Or it's just that if your exam is coming ahead and you have Saturn transit in the third house, you'll have to work 10 times more than what you would have done earlier. Okay, seventh aspect on the ninth house. Support from gurus. And when Saturn comes into the third house, it's not just support from gurus, it's also support from your own knowledge. Support from dharma means righteousness. I hope I'm correct with the spelling, but doesn't matter. Okay. It can initiate long distance travel. Could be for leisure purpose, could be permanently. But definitely this travel is not going to be easy. This travel is going to be like, if you are with the moon in the second house and this is last phase of your Sade Sati and you want to shift to a distant place as a whole shift of residence, the process is going to be hard. There's going to be delay. After that delay, you would reach that particular point where you are finally traveling. There could be support from foreign government as well, because ninth house is 12th from the 10th house. 10th house is the house of government. And there can be loss of support from your home government. Support from father could also be there. But father is going to be the one, or gurus are going to be the one who are going to criticize you big time. But ultimately, when you would need their support, they are going to be there to do that. Okay. Then the 10th aspect goes on your 12th house. Oh, just a second. Yes. So 12th house. This is your subconscious mind. You have to work really hard to sleep, to have actually good sleep. your subconscious mind and intuition. You'll have to work hard towards that as well. Somehow, you may not feel that much connected while in your meditations, and also spirituality. Hard work towards expenses. This can actually initiate a lot of expenses. So a very pressurizing time towards expenses, and also it can activate losses. That's why working hard towards expenses and losses is there. Okay. So, guys, this was my analysis about Sade Sati for an individual with moon in the second house. I hope this is helpful. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. If you guys would like to have your personal readings for me, you can check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com. And under the reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And even I have a Sarasati reading, as I guess it's option 8. So if you want to know more about your Sade Sati, you want to know more about how each and every event is going to play out, you can purchase that reading from the website. You can also get unique readings from the website. Okay, see you with the next video. Bye bye. Take care.